Hello, everyone. This is Mark Jones, Senior Pastor, Memorial Baptist Church in Stanton, Virginia. And this morning I am in the Memorial Gardens, the prayer gardens of the church. And it's a place that most people in the church really don't know that it is here. It's kind of in between a older section and an even older section of the church. Right in front of me is the Rebecca Sunday School class. That building has been here, I think, since 1963. Over to the left of me is the Sunday School office. To the right of me is the lower part of the former sanctuary. We call it the Great Hall right now. There's the stained glass windows. Behind me is the kitchen, and the new kitchen, and also above me, behind me, is the fish class. So it's kind of in that area. It's an area that we've kind of reserved for green space and for prayer. It's an awesome place if you want to tuck away and have a word with the Lord. Part of the reason why I'm in here this morning is Susie Anthony and also Danny and Judy Rexroad got here early in the morning Wednesday, and they saw on the list that we were going to clean this area up for part of the church work week, which is September 8th through 12th. And they got to jump on it, and man, they cleaned this place up. So much so that Danny Rexroad filled the back of his pickup with greenery. I mean, I could still smell the aroma of plants that have been yanked up by the roots or trimmed back and that type of thing. Anyway, it's a really nice area. You ought to come back in here. And also, if you're interested in helping us with the church work week, you want to get an advanced jump on it, just contact me, and we'll get you to work. We'll show you some areas that we are in need as we seek to put a fresh face on our church and really make the most of the time during these COVID days. Well, back to the devotion. We're still on the series of the 10 orneries, and today is ornery number 4. We feel like we are losing our church. Has it been 23 or 24 weeks since we've had a normal Sunday? You remember what a normal Sunday was. We had 8 o'clock and 9:50 Sunday school hours with 2 options of worship at 9 and 11. We remember Wednesday nights when we had the new caterer, and it was filling up the Great Hall with attendance on dinners on Wednesday nights. We had programming for all ages on Wednesday nights with 4 adult classes. The gym was booked nearly every night, and there was usually some committee or group meeting here at the church nearly every other night. Seems like another era now. Many people that were here Sundays and Wednesdays we've not seen since March. Oh, we call and email and we write notes, but there's something about seeing someone in person. And while attendance on Sunday morning seems to be increasing a little every Sunday, still, it's far from what we had 6 months ago pre-COVID. In many ways, it feels like we are losing some of our church, and that can make us a little ornery. Tom Rainier, past president of Lifeway and the inspiration for this series of devotions, says of the ornery, we feel like we are losing our church. He says, in some ways, they have lost their church. It will not likely return to the ways that it was pre-pandemic, end quote. In a further email to pastors, Tom Rainier wrote in his blog, 5 ways churches will have changed 1 year from now. Let me share them with you. Number 1, at least 20% of those who attended before the pandemic will not return to the church. Number 2, more pastors will leave vocational ministry over the next 12 months than at any time in recent history. Number 3, churches will move to a new emphasis on conversion growth. Well, that's good news. Number 4, churches will start more churches, many of them micro churches. And number 5, 2 movements will grow rapidly: church adoption and church fostering. While I do not have time to go into these points, I will say that Tom Rainier is as accurate of a trend watcher in church life as anyone that I've followed in the past 15 years. What you have just read may not be gospel, but I bet it's as good of a compass into the future of church life for the next decade as anything that you can find out there. And there are some trends that I would Add to that, which I shared with the congregation last Sunday in worship. These are all causes for both concern and opportunity. You've heard me say many times that if you do not like change, then you're in the wrong religion. God is constantly in the transformation process of even his most devoted disciples. And he also creates transformation on much larger scales. He does this on a church level, national level, and even historic watershed levels that affect his God called out people for thousands of years to come. Going back in history, the Hebrew people squandered their opportunity to be a light to the nations. Under the times of the judges and the kings, the people of Israel rolled back and forth generationally between seeking after the Lord and out-paganing the pagans. God sent prophets and massive judgments to get them back on track. The best that came about were a few faithful generations and individuals that were willing to stand in extreme minority status. And so the full judgment of God came upon the northern kingdom of Israel, and the Assyrians removed them from existing as a people. The southern kingdom of Judah hung on for generations, but eventually experienced judgment from Babylon. The best of Judah was transported into exile deep into the Babylonian Empire for about 70 years. It was there that the people sought God in a new and fresh way. It was there that they became known as the Jews, a new name for a refreshed people. While in Babylon, God raised up the Persians to supplant the Babylonians. The Jewish people found favor in the eyes of the Persians, so much so that they were allowed to return to Jerusalem and the region, rebuild Jerusalem, and build a new temple. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the Persians picked up the tab. How about that? From the period on the Jewish people, from that period on, the Jewish people became students of the Scriptures. Synagogues were built wherever 10 Jewish men existed for the purpose of Scripture reading and worship. The law of Moses was held to at a greater level than probably at the time of Moses. The Jews became a people at a level far beyond what they had been before. And to varying degrees, they remain at that temple to this day, nearly 2,600 years later. Now, I apologize for not dropping a couple of verses on you and giving you a history lesson instead. If you want a biblical reference, read from Judges through Esther, throw in most of the prophets. The Apocrypha would also be good to look at as well. That's the scope of history we just looked at. But let me place a verse from the prophet Ezekiel as a possible summation of how God took his chosen people to a new level. Moreover, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you, and I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. That's from Ezekiel 36:26. God has been transforming his people throughout history, and he shows no sign of changing. Are we losing our church? Well, in some ways we will, although I cannot say exactly how. Why would God allow that to happen? Well, it's to make us into something fresh and new that can be used to draw us closer to him and to be effective for the sake of his kingdom work. That's what I believe that God has in our future. Let's pray together. Father, while we live in uncertain times, we know that we can be certain of you. If we must change, let it be to your will and purposes. Lead us to be confident in you and faithful to what you are doing among us. Make us into a church that is attuned to your will. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Hey, thank you once again for the opportunity to meet with you. God bless you. I'll see many of you in worship. We'll see you all soon. God bless.